Hello, young man. I'm here to talk to you about a very important topic, something that I've struggled with myself, and that's the fight against perfectionism. You see, as a hero, I've always felt the need to be perfect, to make sure that I'm doing everything just right, to save the people of Gotham from the clutches of evil. But, as time went on, I realized that this need for perfection was taking a toll on my mental health, causing me anxiety and stress. I remember the first time I felt this way. I was trying to stop the Joker from robbing a bank, and I was so focused on getting everything just right that I ended up overthinking every little detail. And before I knew it, the Joker had escaped. I was devastated. I felt like I had failed and that I wasn't good enough. But as I look back on that moment, I realized that I'd been so focused on being perfect that I'd forgotten what was truly important, which is to help people. Now, I'm not saying that striving for excellence is a bad thing, but when it becomes an obsession, it can be detrimental to our well-being. And that's what happened to me. I became so obsessed with being perfect that I started to doubt myself and my abilities. I would spend hours analyzing every little detail, trying to anticipate every possible outcome, and it was exhausting. But one day, I realized that I didn't have to be perfect, that it was okay to make mistakes. And that's when everything changed for me. I started to focus on what I could control and let go of what I couldn't. I started to trust my instincts and my training, and I began to see that I didn't have to be perfect to be a hero. Now, I know that it's not easy to let go of the need for perfection, especially when you're trying to achieve something important. But trust me, it's worth it. When you're able to let go of that need, you'll be able to focus on what truly matters, and you'll be able to enjoy the process, rather than just the outcome. And as I look back on my journey, I realize that it's not just about being a hero. It's about being human. It's about being vulnerable and imperfect, and okay with that. Because when we're able to accept ourselves and our limitations, we're able to connect with others on a deeper level, and we're able to find true happiness. So, my young friend, if you're struggling with perfectionism, I want you to know that you're not alone. It's a common struggle, and it's one that I've faced myself. But I also want you to know that there is hope, and that you can overcome it. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. One of the things that helped me was to focus on the present moment, rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. When we're able to stay present, we're able to let go of our fears and our doubts, and we're able to trust ourselves. And when we trust ourselves, we're able to take action and to move forward, even when things get tough. Another thing that helped me was to practice self-compassion. When we're able to be kind to ourselves and to acknowledge our limitations, we're able to let go of the need for perfection. We're able to see that it's okay to make mistakes and that we can learn from them. And when we're able to learn from our mistakes, we're able to grow and to become better versions of ourselves. And finally, I want to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. There are people who care about you and who want to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out and to ask for help when you need it, whether it's a friend or a family member or a professional. There are people who can support you and help you to overcome your struggles with perfectionism. In addition to these strategies, I also want to suggest that you try to reframe your thinking. When you catch yourself thinking perfectionistic thoughts, try to challenge them and reframe them in a more positive and realistic way. For example, instead of thinking I have to be perfect, try thinking I'm doing my best, and that's good enough. Or, instead of thinking I'm a failure if I make a mistake, try thinking I'm learning and growing from my mistakes. It's also important to recognize that perfectionism is often linked to fear and to anxiety. When we're afraid of not being perfect, we can become anxious, and our minds can start to spin out of control. But when we're able to face our fears and to acknowledge our anxiety, we're able to take the first steps towards overcoming perfectionism. Now, I know that this is a lot to take in, and that it's not going to be easy, but I want you to know that you're capable of overcoming perfectionism and of living a happy and fulfilling life. You just have to be willing to take the first step and to trust in yourself. And if you're wondering where to start, I would suggest that you begin by taking small steps. Try to notice when you're thinking perfectionistic thoughts and challenge them. Try to practice self-compassion and to focus on the present moment. And try to reframe your thinking and to focus on what you can control rather than what you can't. Remember, my young friend, that overcoming perfectionism is a journey, and it's not a destination. It's something that takes time and effort and patience. But if you're willing to put in the work, I promise you that it will be worth it. And as you journey through this process, I want to remind you that it's okay to stumble and to make mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect and to be human, because when we're able to accept ourselves and our limitations, we're able to connect with others on a deeper level, and we're able to find true happiness. In conclusion, I want to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite authors, who said the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So don't be afraid to fall and to make mistakes, because when you do, you'll be able to learn from them and to grow and to become a better version of yourself. And finally, I want to thank you for listening and for being a part of this conversation. I hope that you found something helpful and inspiring, and that you'll be able to apply it to your own life. And if you feel this talk helpful, don't forget, like and subscribe. And if you want to be a more grateful person, you can donate on the Patreon account. Link on description. See you soon, friend.